Yep, I got it. What is up, Nerd Nation? It's your boy Hunter here for Film Nerd TV. And tonight, we're doing Death Note, talking about the anime series Death Note in full spoiler discussion that you're wondering right there. I am not alone. I'm joined by new fan of anime, a newbie here, Chance Ellison. How's it going?
I don't know if fan is the right word, but yeah, I'm not. Everybody knows I'm not a big watcher of anime, but this was one that people told me that I should check out, and I did, and I have some thoughts on this, so I'm ready to discuss.
Okay, so pretty much what we're going to do is first, for those of you who don't know what Death Note is, pretty much it follows Light Yagami, who finds a Death Note sent down by the Shimigami known as Ryuk. Pretty much the note, whenever you write someone's name in it, after 40 seconds, they die of a heart attack if not specified, or you can specify the way of their death. An example, decapitation, accident, suicide, whatever. So Chance, as someone who is going into anime with fresh eyes, give me your opening thoughts on Death Note.
Okay, so when I first started this, I was like, okay, we got a cool concept. It looks like we got a cool concept. This is really an interesting thing to do, especially like when you give like the ultimate power to essentially a teenager. I want to see what they do with it, and I stick to that. Like, there's some really cool concepts. I like the whole idea of the Death Note. I guess it's like a third of the premise because like a third of it's also like a cat and mouse game between him and this detective L,
Yeah,
who's like he's pretty much like Japanese Sherlock Holmes,
yeah,
and
he is.
yeah, the whole like dynamic between the two of them was for the most part really interesting.
Oh yeah. Um, and yeah, I forgot to bring that up. One of my favorite characters is L. Um, and I like the cat and mouse game. I like how they're always trying to one up each other. Whether it's, you know, Light has a plan, and then L knows what to counter from that, and then maybe Light will counter that, and it's just back and forth, back and forth. And at one point, spoiler alert. All right, at one point they have to team up together to find Kira, which is L's alter ego, which in Japanese I believe means killer. Um, so he's like Light's always playing L, and at one point L really forms a friendship with Light, while Light is always just playing him over and over and over again.
Yeah, whether it's whether trying to figure out who the other is or a tennis match that happens for no reason.
I love the tennis scene. I mean, it wasn't no reason. They actually do specify that um, L thinks that Kira is doing this for attention, and he doesn't like to lose. So when him and Light are doing the tennis match, he sees the anger whenever Light can't win, and finally Light realizes that, and he loses on purpose, and is like, "Oh, it's okay," to kind of steer him off of, "Hey, it's probably not Light who's Kira."
It's also true most people. It's also true most people would rather win than lose. It's human nature.
Yeah, it's human nature.
That line in particular, I literally had to like backtrack. I'm like, did I really just fucking hear that? Like
That's
that's
a good
one
line,
like
though. That was a very good line.
no, that line was fucking stupid. I'm
No.
sorry. No, that line was dumb. Like that you shouldn't have to say that.
All right, so Chance, go over what you liked about Death Note.
Okay, yeah, I like the concept. I I think my most enjoyable character for the most part was L. I thought that dude was really
That's
interesting.
everyone's opinion.
Yeah, like no, that dude was really interesting. I thought he was really entertaining. He kind of got a little long in the tooth towards the end, but I thought he was a really cool character. I also really like I can't remember the guy's name. It's like the really really like dumbass cop.
Oh, are you talking about his dad, Light's dad?
No, no,
Uh,
not his dad. It's one of the cops that his dad works for.
Hold on, I think I know what you're talking about. Let me look it up real
Or,
quick.
or works with, I should say. I forgot his name.
Hold on, I'll look it up for you real quick.
But the meantime, I also like Afro Cop.
Afro Cop.
I don't even know his name. I just call him Japanese Afro.
Masuda.
Is that who it is? Yes, it is Masuda.
Yeah, because every time they're like, Masuda, you idiot.
Yeah, like that dude was just so completely just inept. I found him super entertaining.
Which at the series finale, the final episode, he does get a great story arc at the end with him pretty much killing Kira at the very end, because the shots are pretty much what done him for when he was running. So in the end, Masuda is really the hero of the story when you look at it.
This whole thing building up to Masuda being a hero.
Pretty much, though, because you look at it like he was the only one who really didn't want to believe that Light was Kira. Everyone else on the task force had that momentary thought of, well, everything does line up. Maybe Light is Kira. But Masuda was always the one that was like, no, this is the reason why. This is the reason why. And he has a great line at the end when he's like, your dad, or what was it? What did your dad die for? What was this all about? And you call him an idiot, a fool? Because you can tell he really cares about Light's father as, a mentor, like a father figure to him. So when that happens, that just really pushes him over the edge when he finds out that Light, his son, is the killer.
Yeah, and also I'm not sure, but like he's definitely like the funniest of the human characters. I'm not sure it's intentional or on purpose. I really like the scene where they're monitoring him, Misa and Elle, and Light just starts talking shit, and he's on the phone like, I can still hear you.
Yeah.
That was a good part. I also really like
Ryuk. From Elle. Ryuk was amazing, man. Ryuk was awesome.
I thought it's not what I expected from a death god, because he's a death god disguised as a clown. Yeah. Or rather, a clown disguised as a death god. But the dude was funny.
Yeah, one of my my funny Elle lines was when Misa, Elle, and Light, and Misa kisses Elle, and he's like, I could actually fall for you right now. Just like nonchalant, just like, I could fall for you right now.
And also Misa didn't piss me off.
Misa pissed me off. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about her, but I didn't mind her.
Just the fact, the character herself, I get what her character's supposed to be, but she makes the most dumbass, bonehead decisions. That is just. Plus, her affection for Light is good, but at one point, it goes overboard. It goes into that Stockholm, Harley Quinn Joker type shit. Where
wasn't it that from the very beginning?
Not always. I mean, it was kind of subtle. You could tell that she really liked Light, but at the end, she's just head over heels for him. I'm just like, plus all the bonehead decisions she makes.
Subtlety in an anime? Come on, man. You know better than that.
Dude, it's Death Note. Death Note has really great subtlety character moments, and they just went right off the bat with Misa.
Yeah, anime, the perfect picture of subtlety. But no, I didn't mind her. I like the dynamic between her and Light. I mean, granted, I understand why people don't, but as a character, I wouldn't say I wouldn't go as far as saying I liked her, but I didn't mind her.
Yeah. So yeah, talk about some more that you like, because really, this is your first anime. I'm really anxious to hear what you loved about it.
All right. So anything else I like? I thought it was interesting. I thought the story was super complex and almost hard to follow, but I could get it. But there are a few times that I had to go back and watch. Did I miss something? And okay, yeah, I figured it out. And yeah, I do like it's like I compare this anime to just like a giant game of chess. It's just two people trying to think one step ahead of each other every single time.
Yeah, definitely. um, one of the most tense scenes, where I'm just like on the edge of my seat and like holding my breath, was when Light, Misa, and Light's father are driving down the road, and it's after they've been captured, and you realize that he's brought a loaded gun, which you thought was a loaded gun. He points it to Light. He goes, "Light, my son, from one killer or from one murderer to another, I'll see you in hell." And you just hear the gunshot. I was on my, I was sitting on my chair. I was just like, "What the fuck just happened?" And then you realize, oh, it's a blank. This was always set up from L, because he knows one. He believes that one of the two are Kira, so they would stop and kill the dad before anything bad happened to Light. But that scene I thought was really well done.
Yeah, that scene in particular, that was really tempting. Though, like I knew they were gonna die because we saw episodes of anime left. But like even then, like when it happened, that trigger was pulled. Like, oh wow, she was over. Awesome.
All right, so going to let me go with my positives real quick. I love this anime. This is one of my favorites behind one that you should watch, which I'll talk about at the end of the show. But I love the story. I love the mythology behind the Death Note. And you see the Shinigamis, and you see all the rules that they have to follow. And I especially love the fact that I think it's towards the end of the series that, you find out that Light asked Ryuk to make up new rules for the Death Note, which is the 13-day rule, which is very smart because he was left in confinement for 50 days. He's clear because I believe it says if the owner of the Death Note does not kill within 13 days, then that owner dies. So, since Light was in confinement and Misa was in confinement for over, I think they said 50 days, that kind of cleared him. I love L as a character. I love his mannerisms. I love the way he's kind of being a smartass towards Light, because he's like, I know you're Kira, and I know you know that you're Kira. You're just not admitting it yet. But towards the end, he gets outsmarted pretty much. And spoiler alert, the big spoiler comes. L dies. The Notebook, the Death Note, finally claims L, and it was all Light's plan from beginning. So I love that element. I just love these characters and the fact that you can fall in love with these characters. Misa, she got on my nerves, but I like the fact that her and Light were a duo and they did stuff together. But it did seem like a lot of points Light was just using Misa, and he even says she's not as smart as what's her name? Tanaka, I think her name was.
Takada.
Yeah. She's not as smart as you. And
although it's very clear that every guy in the task force wants to bone her, just because there's that moment where she comes out like a little nighty.
Oh god. She's definitely not hiding a note under there.
No, she's definitely not trying. She's definitely confident in her bodies, but good for her.
Good for her. But yeah, I just absolutely love this anime. I do have maybe a minor nitpick for a negative, but Chance, let's go into some of your negatives, which I know will be a long list of extensive negatives.
Oh, yeah. So, but just like with anything, there's give and take. But I heard like, when I go to this anime, like, I heard it's so brilliant. It's just so revolutionary. Then I got to the anime, I'm like, this is fucking dumb. Okay, like first of all, something that bothered me from off the get go. Light Yagami, he developed a god complex just way too quickly. Okay, fine.
All right, you kind of understand that though, because it's pointed out the dude's a genius. He is bored. School is not doing nothing for him. He's sitting there. So and the fact that you learn that his dad's a police officer, and the fact that there are criminals out there, that you do learn in episode 1 that he wants to change the world. So it's not just right off the bat he starts writing names. He does have to think about it for a little bit, and then he finally writes down the first name.
No, maybe your perspective a little skewed on that because you haven't seen it in so long. But no, the way I remember specifically, the way it first started, he writes one name in that death note, then he dies. In the very next scene, it's 5 days later. He's written he's already written a shit ton of names, and then he's like, "I will be the god of this new world." I'm like, wait, what? Where did this come from? Like the first episode of Death Note is if Walter White started as the chemistry teacher, and then it just became the drug lord at the end of the 4th season within one episode. I'm like, that is way too that transition could have been an anime in and of itself. I thought that was way too rushed. I thought that could have been developed like way better. It just like thrown in like super last minute. Oh, sorry, Sonny.
Yeah, it's on you.
Yeah, no, sorry. Okay, so yeah, there's that. I don't know if it's trying to emulate the Japanese that because I listened to some of that and it's like very like on the nose also, but there's some dialogue in here that it's not something I like about any anime, just the dialogue just like super expository for no reason other than just the audience wants to need to know these things. It's one between I can't remember. It's the FBI agent and his wife. And he goes into like a whole spiel about like their personal lives. I'm just like for no reason. I'm just like, whoa! Like, do you have this conversation every day? Like, where did this come from? And yeah, one of my favorite lines out of this is just, "I take a potato chip and eat it."
Which you kind of understand why he does that because L puts the cameras everywhere, so he's kind of putting on a show for L.
No, like I understand why he's doing that, but why do you need to say like? There's so many lines of like, why do you need to say that? Like maybe Japanese audiences just need a ton of shit explained.
Well, also the dubbed and subbed things usually do change a lot of dialogues.
No, you see that, but that's the thing though. I listened to the dub. I listened to the sub version, and it's the exact same thing.
You actually watched the sub version?
No, I like anytime there was a line where I was just like, did he just fucking say that? I rewound it, listened to it again, rewound it again, listened to the sub version. Same thing.
Okay. Okay.
Same thing. The Japanese people maybe just need a lot of exposition, but
yeah. A lot of animes do that for emphasis, and it's kind of weird for American audiences. But I guess to the Japanese audiences, it's normal. I mean, if you really look at it, some of the stuff that Americans like, the Japanese are like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yeah, exactly. No, but Chinese people get it. But yeah, there's that, and I guess Japanese people just need to explain it over and over again because they literally explain the rules of the Death Note over and over and over again.
But granted, I do like how they keep adding new rules to the Death Note as the seasons go along, and then
but at that point, like the Death Note becomes like way too complicated. Like it started off with simple, like okay, you write a name in the notes, it dies, and yeah, you need rules to balance that out. But by the end of it, it's just super hard to keep track of. Like you need 40 seconds. You need to write how they're gonna die in 40 seconds. After that, you need to write in 6 minutes. You need to write express details of that in 6 minutes and 40 seconds.
It's simple. 40 seconds for just a regular name. So you write down a name, after 40 seconds, they die of a heart attack. Now, if you have a specified, so let's say suicide, you have 6 minutes and 40 seconds to rewrite whatever they do. So it's like, okay, suicide, but then before they're going to do this, this, and this, and then it all happens. You pretty much, for that 6 minutes and 40 seconds pre-death, you can really control them for a little bit, which is very interesting, as in what Light does, especially with the FBI's wife, when she's like, she's walking and all of a sudden it was like suicide this time, and then he's looking at his clock and all of a sudden he turns, he's like, oh, by the way, I'm Kira. And then he goes, oh, you gotta go somewhere? No, I'm good. And then I love this scene because they don't show the actual act of the suicide, but you see as she's walking up the stairs, the noose, and you immediately understand it. Because what's cool about that is I don't think they said what he put down yet. So it's like you don't know he put suicide, but then as that's happening, you see the title that's like 645 suicide attempt, blah blah blah.
No, like I'm not saying that. Okay, if you just stuck with those three rules, I've been fine. But you don't. You keep adding more, and by that point, the death becomes hard to follow. The whole like 490-day rule was. What if with these weird timetables? Like what is why is it so like specific? I don't know. That's not a nitpick. It's just something I wanted to say about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, look. So I thought the whole Death Note was just going to be a cat and mouse game between L and Light. It's not. At like a third of the anime, the other third's trying to as a wild goose chase trying to catch Kira. Which how convenient that someone else take the mantle while Light has memory wipes. And after that,
well, if you remember, Light planned this all along.
Yeah, I know, but still, like, we don't know that until we get back there. And even then, I'm just like, okay, sure, whatever. But look, the whole thing I equate it to like a game of chess. But it's like you're playing a game of chess. The slime is like you're playing a game of chess. Then 3/4 of the way through, your opponent tags out, and God tags in. Because look, this show only 37 episodes and still managed to go on too long. Like the show should have finished when L died, because at that point Light won. The promise of the show that we were trying to build up the entire time.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like the whole like premise of the show that they were building up, they were trying to stick to, like it's finished. That whole premise, that storyline we invested in so much, it's over. It's done. Why are we still here?
Yeah, I get that, and that goes into some of my negatives in a minute. But I feel like if you had 37 episodes of, Elle trying to figure out who it was, and then the reaction came, and then because I do like the scene where towards at the very end of the last episode, he does come out. He tells everybody that he's Kira. Light's like, this is why I'm doing it. You don't understand. He's really trying to explain himself to people. I like that, but imagine if he was saying that to Elle when Elle figured out who it was. And then maybe instead of having Nier say that line, you're not a good guy. You're a murderer. You're a mass murderer. This book is a weapon that you've used to harm so many people. I wish that was Elle that said that. And
yeah, as opposed to this little kid who I don't go a fuck about.
Yeah, that's one of my negatives, is that I understand that Elle has to die. I totally get that, and I don't have no problem with that. I just wish that they wouldn't have gone into this convoluted story about Nier and the school, which they did bring up the school earlier in the season, so I was aware of that, but like I didn't fall in love with that character of Nier. He didn't have enough screen time. He wasn't as, how do I say? He wasn't as
fleshed out as L. Like my biggest problem,
wasn't as entertaining as L was.
My biggest problem with Nier was the fact that like when L came to a conclusion in the show, you understand, like he explained, like, okay, I think this because this and this.
Yeah.
With Nier, it's just like, I think this because it's like, okay, you're right, but how did you get to that conclusion?
They kind of did show how Nier did it, especially with like, the Death Note being passed off to somebody else, and then him, which I love the scene of Nier getting the notes from what's the dude's name? The one who took over the Death Note.
The lawyer guy, or?
Yeah, the lawyer guy, where it's like delete, delete, delete.
Oh, delete guy. I just call him delete guy.
Delete guy. I'll have to think over in a minute, but I like how he's like, oh, they match up, and you really like. He's got that L kind of flavor to him, where he's like, you see what he sees, and you can kind of follow along with him. But I don't like how they made him more smarter than L, and we didn't get more time to flesh out that character. Because, L had suspicions that Light was Kira, but the way that in, like, 3 or 4 episodes, Nier's like, whoa, da-da-da-da-da-da, it's like, one, how the fuck did you know that? And two, how the hell are you smarter than L, who's supposed to be one of the smartest detectives, in Japan? It just, that kind of bugs me.
Also, wasn't Nier American?
No, I don't think so.
No, he was, because that school was in America.
Was it?
Yes.
Maybe then. But I also think L was American too, because
yeah, because that made me question the fact, like, is L American too? You don't know.
Yeah, but at least with L, you had time to flesh out the characters with him. With Nier, I didn't care about him. So when that
no, exactly, like he's literally just thrown in, and he knows all the answers, and you don't know why.
Yeah, but let's talk about, back to my pros real quick. One of the scenes that I really liked, and maybe you won't, but the death of Light's dad, Sheriff Yagami.
No, I did like that. I did like that. That was like very personal. That was very emotional.
Yeah, when he has the Shimigami eyes, and he can see people who have had the notes, and he looks at he looks at Light, and he doesn't want to see that he's owned the book. Meaning he's Kira. He says, I don't see anything. I can see your lifespan. You're not Kira. Even though we know he is Kira, he just passed off the book to somebody else.
With that whole possession rule is just fucking ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. It was just like super. It was like super at least overused, I think.
Yeah, I can see that, but that was a very emotional scene, and I'm glad that they went that way with it, where there's like, let's not tell him that Light is Kira. Let's let him die in peace, believing that his son was innocent, that he knew all along.
No, exactly, and I thought his death was. I thought it was really well done. I thought it was heartfelt. If you're invested in that character, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was well done.
All right, so if you want to, we can go into rating the anime from like 1 to 5 stars. Chance, you want to give it a rating first?
Okay, so there's a lot of good stuff in here, but there's also a lot of really, really dumb things in here. If you're not accustomed to Japanese rudeness, maybe a little jarring for you, but overall, I'll give it a passing grade. I'll give it, just quality-wise, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. But I'll give it a 4 out of 5 just because when you're not entertained by the good stuff, you can be really entertained by the bad stuff. So, 4 out of 5.
Now, I try not to give out a lot of, especially on my channel, I don't like giving out a lot of perfect grades.
Tell that to Justice League.
Justice League got a 4.
That's still too much.
But Death Note was one of the first animes I've watched. It's the anime that got me into anime. I think it's perfect in all elements. It's got great comedy, great characters you can fall in love with. It's got great action, great darkness. And a thing that's really cool is you follow the anime. You may get lost at some points, but you always know the main story of the plot. And that's really that's really a good thing where you can follow it, especially someone who is new to anime like I was and like Chance was. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. It's one of my favorite animes of all time. Definitely in my eyes, it's a perfect anime. But now let's get into the controversy.
Oh boy.
Let's talk about the Death Note Netflix movie. why don't you start with your opinions? Because I know you're right around the same ballpark as I am with it.
Okay, so when everyone who ever told me to watch the show has said like, don't watch the movie. It sucks. It's awful. Don't watch the movie. And I'm just like, hey, the trailer looked cool, and maybe like if there's anything I love more than a great movie, it's a fucking horrible movie.
Yeah, because like horror movies can be so entertaining and fun that it's
Yeah, like I was like, okay, you know what? Whether or not it's good, at least like if it's that bad, I will at least get some laughs.
yeah.
And I watched it, and I say like, why am I supposed to hate this? This it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I kind of I like the vision. I like what he's trying to do. There's plenty of it in here that actually
Correct me
does
if I'm wrong,
work.
but Adam Wingard directed this, correct?
Adam Wingard did direct this. He also the director of he directed a lot of things with VHS. He directed The Guest. He directed Your Next. He's a really very talented director. And yeah, I watched it, and I'll say like it's not that bad.
Yeah, I'm right around the same level. It's hard because I understand this is a Western adaptation, and look at Ghost in the Shell. Didn't follow anything from the original anime. Went way off the rails. Plus, it was just an awful movie.
Ghost in the Shell was just like, boring and super like hard to follow.
Death Note, the Netflix series, at least it follows the main plot story of Death Note. You understand what it is, and I know you're gonna agree with me with this because you had the problem with Light's automatic God complex. I like how this one, he doesn't want to use the notebook, but he uses it when his mom's killer is set free. And I like how that's what jumped him into it. Because that's really a personal attachment that's going to send him over the edge. I do like that part of it. Your thoughts on that?
No, yeah, absolutely. Just it gives like different motivations for him doing what he's doing, and it also like it differentiates his character from the anime, which when you're doing a remake of anything, you need to try and make it do as possible. I thought that was really nice. Yeah, but Nat Wolff, like poor Nat Wolff, the dude's a good actor, but in that like he has some line readings that are just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
he only gives like half a good performance, and I know he can be a good actor under like the right script and the right direction, but I ain't gonna blame these actors. And like some of these actors like aren't that bad. First, like the biggest highlight as far as the cast for me, definitely Willem Dafoe as Ryuk.
Oh, it's Ryuk.
I
Yeah.
thought that dude he embodied all the silliness that I got from the anime.
The Shimigamis.
Yeah, he embodied all that Shin Megami silliness, and I thought, like, just from a vocal standpoint, his voice was perfect.
And like, trust me, it's hard for me to separate my anime fandom and look at it as a movie. And even if I try to look at it as a movie, it's not great. But there are some enjoyments to it. William Dafoe is Ryuk. I love. The death scenes I really love. It kind of reminded me.
The death scenes they're so Final Destination.
I was about to say that. They reminded me so much of Final Destination, especially the decapitation first death, or first, like, real use of it. It's just like, oh, this truck's going to hit this car. This is going to happen to this. The ladder's going to come up, splash his head off. I'm just like, I kind of like that. I kind of like how it's like one thing leads to another.
Oh yeah, it like the deaths I think were definitely more fun. Like they're not as impactful, but they're definitely more fun in this one.
Yeah, and if I really look at it, I think it deserves some of the negatives, especially if you. How am I gonna put this? Just looking at like trying to grade it off of just a regular movie. It's fun, but it's not a great movie. The acting is really weak. The writing is, again, just all over the place. But I sat down hearing all the negatives about it. I was like, I was like, well, if it's really terrible, I might have fun with it. I walked out, I was like, that wasn't bad. But they added some rules to the Death Note that I don't really like. Especially the end scene where it's like, oh, very convenient of, oh, she takes the notebook. And then she falls, she dies. I fall, I apparently die. The note floats right into the fire.
Yeah, at that point I was like, come on, no.
Come on now.
But like what it's no more convoluted than the rules from the anime. The only difference is it's 2 days. You can control it for 2 days rather than being for like 6 minutes or whatever. Or you never really know how you can do it in the anime.
6 minutes 40 seconds.
But like even then, like in the anime, like Light literally set up a bus mugging, so it's got to be longer than that, right? No, it was a good scene, but like it's got to be longer than that. But like either way, yeah, they add new notes to the death rule, which
that one part got to me. It kind of made me angry because I was just like, tell me how a fucking paper is gonna float straight, and there's somehow gonna be a fire bin right there.
How convenient.
How convenient.
But I also really liked what's his face, but Keith Stanfield as like Keith Stanfield, one of my favorite actors working today, and I really liked what he did with the character of L.
I was about to say that too. I like how he had L's mannerism, especially the way he sits, the way he always is eating sweets, the way that I do like the interactions between him and Light. I just wish there was more to that. That's what I didn't like about it. Like the anime, you literally have 20 to 25 episodes of Light versus L. And I know a movie's not going to be able to do all that, with a lot of episodes, but at least give me more interactions between L and Light, and L really looking over the details and being a great detective, and then talking to Light.
No, and also, I think the problem is like a lot of the movies devoted to this romance between him and Mia, who's
I thought I hated Misa.
Yeah, like you think you hate Misa? Oh, she ain't got nothing on Mia.
Oh my God, Mia!
My God.
And the fact that I know this is kind of snobbish, but the fact that Light's name is Light Turner. Like, how American can you get right there?
Well, Light whatever. But I also really like the point where they're just like, it's like, oh, I can call myself Kira. Why? Because then I'll be looking for a killer in Japan. Oh, like, wow, that is such a backhand to the anime fans. I really like it.
Back to the anime, I like how he didn't come up with his own name. He didn't be like, I'm called Kira. The people gave him the name of Kira. The Japanese people gave him the name of Kira.
Yeah, but he gave himself his own name.
First to be used as a, to give him a negative light, because, Kira means killer. But then the how do I put it? The people of Japan, they really start gravitating towards him. This one was like, oh, I'm Kira. Why? Killer.
And Japan, so that way they're not looking for me.
You're right, such a fucking backhand. It's like, fuck all this.
I was like, Jesus. That's
another thing that I brought up is I feel like the movie rushes itself so much, especially when it first starts and they do a montage of, all the death scenes, which kind of like follows the anime. In episode 2, you see the death of the inmates. But this one, it was like, let's montage all the important parts. Let's skip all the protests. Let's skip all the, the retribution and the people really caring about Kira. Nope, let's skip that part right there, and let's let all the people of wherever there is love Kira.
No, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you did get that good, fun death montage of all the stupid, ridiculous deaths that they cause.
Yeah. And again, I thought Misa made a lot of dumb decisions. Mia wanted to fucking kill Light's dad right off the bat. She's like, oh, he knows. Kill him.
He knows. Dead.
Come on.
But also another thing I want to mention, like you thought Nier get inclusions quickly. He ain't got nothing on American L.
No. Oh my god. The scene where L finally catches light and you see the fucking washer at the restaurant. This man's Kira. Bam. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Sure. Let's go with that. But overall, like, we've shown this movie way more than I expected we would.
No, exactly. But
The movie's not terrible. It's not as bad as people say it is. It's definitely bad, but it's got really good entertainment factors to it.
no, yeah, absolutely. And I think this really shows like him just trying he wasn't trying to make an adaptation of the anime. So he trying to take that premise
And
and then just make his own movie.
Adam Wingard tried.
Yeah, no, he tried. He definitely tried.
And what's interesting is I just realized this: the creators of Death Note actually like the Netflix movie.
Yeah, they love the movie.
And I think one of them said it takes liberties, but it's still the same story that we had planned. You still feel that Death Note story. It doesn't fly off. You still have the undertone of the Death Note, the Light Misa story. You've got L and Light. You've got, all the stuff that makes the anime great. Just, I wish they gave more time to the stuff. Like, less time with Light and Misa, but more time with the cat and mouse game between L and Light.
Yeah.
But overall, rate the movie.
Rate the movie. I'll give it. I think it's okay. I lean kind of towards liking it, so I'll give it a. I'll give it a. I want to say. This is hard, actually. I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. You're kind of higher than I am. It was fun, but I'm not gonna watch it again because I don't like watching bad movies, and this is definitely a bad movie with great fun elements. I'm giving it 2.5.
Yeah, I'm in that zone too. I could give it anything from 2.5 to 3.
Yeah.
But even as a bad movie, like I love watching bad movies.
Oh,
so
I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it's definitely got fun elements, and it keeps the Death Note story, which I love. But it's not good. The writing's terrible. Just the convenient ways that they save the characters and just all that stuff kind of weighs it down for me. But they did keep the element of L, which I love. I love both adaptations of the L character. All right, so you want to plug your shit real quick?
Yeah, so check Football Media channel I work on and produce, Twitter and Instagram at ChanceWard_91, Stardust and Letterboxd at ChanceT83, and check out my YouTube channel, Chance the Critic.
There you go, And if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to Film Nerd TV, and check out my Patreon and check out my Stardust at Film Nerd TV. I'm Hunter, that's Chance. We're Film Nerds, we see you guys soon. Peace.